It's Sunday, September 14, 2025, and I'm tracking a few weather systems moving through the United States right now, including a threat for severe weather as we head through the day. And the main area for the severe weather will be across the plains today, specifically the northern plains where a low pressure system is headed across the Dakotas. It may have enough to produce some stronger storms and maybe even a few isolated tornadoes as we head through the afternoon. Aside from that, I'm also tracking a coastal storm on the coast of North Carolina right now, producing some heavy rain and even some coastal flooding concerns. And the last most notable weather event we have in the U.S. is a slow moving low pressure system in the northwest, producing some classic Seattle showers, which will continue to affect parts of the northwest before shifting eastward. So here is that severe weather risk for the plains as we head through the afternoon. Most of the area is a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk, so not a whole lot expected here, more in the way of isolated severe storms. But a couple places could see more than just isolated severe storms, possibly scattered storms. That does include parts of Nebraska, Kansas, and North and South Dakotas, both level 2 out of 5 slight risk as we head into the afternoon. And that risk does include the possibility of a tornado or two later today. Notice there is an area level 2 out of 8 risk for parts of North and South Dakota. Specifically, North Dakota has a decent chance of seeing a couple tornadoes today because of where the low pressure system is, proximity to the state. And then you go south there all the way down to places in Nebraska and Kansas could also see a risk of a tornado, but it'll be much more isolated than locations in South and North Dakota. This is the future forecast heading into the afternoon. You can see those showers and storms making their way through the states here, but for the most part, the focus of the stronger storm action will come later on this evening. So even though there is some rain out there right now, it's going to take a few more hours for the storms to develop. But notice that rotation, broad area of rotation here, which is not associated with a tornadic thunderstorm. That's the low pressure system. But that low pressure system, because it's spinning around there, will have a chance to pop up some rotating storms that could produce an isolated tornado or two through the afternoon. And this is a product we call storm helicity, which basically measures how much rotation is in the atmosphere that a thunderstorm can tap into. And you can see the focus of that near the Bismarck area as we head into the afternoon, going up into Minot, North Dakota. So that'll probably be the main focus of the storms, but we could see some rotating storms east of that as well as that low pressure system continues to push its way through the area. This is a look at the storm energy here as we head into the afternoon. Notice how the focus of that energy is in eastern parts of North and South Dakota. As that low pressure system moves through the state, it will be popping up those stronger storms, and some of those storms may tap into a little bit of that rotation. So that is the concern through the afternoon, that there could be a few isolated tornadoes in the area and a better chance of seeing an isolated tornado than other states off to the south. Along with the risk of severe weather, we also have heavy rain that will be produced from these storms, but it doesn't look like we're going to see a risk for flash flooding this time around, but still a decent amount of heavy rain, upwards of an inch or two as the storms push through the central part of the plains and the northern plains through the afternoon. Now we head over to North Carolina, where we do have a coastal storm affecting the area. Notice how we have a large swath of small craft advisories, including a little bit of coastal flooding, as a coastal flood advisory is issued for parts of the Wilmington area. And then we also have some beach hazards from some rough surf out there. So we're going to be watching this storm system over the next 2 days here as it continues to affect the area. And here's a look at future radar for that coastal storm. Notice how the heavier rain still stays out to sea, but we'll get a couple of days of rain showers and gustier winds as the storm kind of just hangs out over parts of North Carolina and Virginia over the next couple of days here. And the rainfall forecast through Monday afternoon doesn't look all that impressive, but we could see up to an inch of rain, maybe an inch and a half in some places. But for the most part, it's going to be about a half an inch of rain, but certainly some gustier winds. And this is the wind forecast with that storm offshore. Notice how we have wind gusts of about 20 to 30 miles per hour from time to time. We could even see gusts up to 40 miles per hour tomorrow as that wind field expands a little bit. This is not a tropical system, but it is almost acting like one as it continues to produce wind gusts and heavy rain just offshore of North Carolina. Before we talk about the tropics, which are heating up, I want to talk about our new weather app, Storm Chance, that'll be coming out in the next few weeks. Storm Chance is an impact-based weather app where we'll be focusing on major weather events. such as blizzards, hurricanes, severe weather, and everything in between. We'll have hyperlocal weather updates via video forecasts, and of course, weather data and state of the art weather maps. If you have any questions on this app, feel free to leave a comment below or reach out through our website. Now we head over to the Eastern Pacific. We are tracking Tropical Storm Mario as it continues to make its way north and west of the country of Mexico. It will continue to remain a tropical storm, not expected to strengthen and eventually weaken to a tropical depression. So merely a fish storm, but behind Mario, there could be a few more storms on the way. So for the next 5 days, the National Hurricane Center is monitoring a few locations of development. So we could see another storm system on the heels of Mario. So you have to keep a close eye on development in the Pacific. And this is the wind gust forecast from the American model here. You can see as we head through the next several days, there could be another storm system behind Mario, especially as we head into next week. Potentially one near Hawaii as well, but probably not making an impact. But still indicating that things are going to heat up and potentially heat up for the Atlantic as well. And the Atlantic does have a 70% chance of development here over the next 5 days. And there is a wave coming in off of Africa, which could potentially be our next tropical system in the Atlantic. And the next storm name on the list would be Gabrielle. We've had a few waves off of Africa that looked like potentially Gabrielle would form, but not quite yet. So we'll see if this wave does it. Still several more names on the list here. If you think one name in particular will be the worst storm on the season, leave a comment below. I'm interested to see what you think. And here's the wind gust forecast from the American model for the Atlantic now. And you can see it does develop that storm system over the next few days, but basically keeps it out to sea. Still a ton of uncertainty here over the next few days. The fact that it even develops a storm is a little surprising, given the hostile environment that's still over the Atlantic with high wind shear aloft and even dry air. But we'll see what happens over the next few days. The European model also forms a storm, so we'll be watching this area very closely. And we also have very warm waters in the Gulf because nothing has touched it for couple of weeks now, so we'll see what happens in this area. If anything does seem to want to develop, it will have plenty of fuel to work with, so we're going to keep a close eye on the Gulf if anything happens over the next few weeks here. So looking ahead, we'll be tracking a few things. Once again, we have severe weather working its way across the plains, maybe a few days of severe weather, but nothing major expected there. We also have the coastal storm in North Carolina that will be affecting that area for a few days here. The tropics also heating up, where we have 2 areas of development in the Pacific and also in the Atlantic. And we have the fall outlook, which does look like it's going to be a mild fall for a good portion of the country. But how does that affect winter? We'll have updates on that coming up over the next several weeks.